Hi, I'm Dr. Hannah from Pure Wellness Bournemouth, and today I'm going to show you some exercises, some core and glute strengthening exercises to help stabilize your lower back and your pelvis. Now, these core exercises aren't ones where you'll be getting a sweat on, and they're definitely not ab crunches. The exercises we normally think about when somebody mentions the core. But these are exercises that are going to help to get you to recognize where your core is, get you working your core more and almost kind of activating it to ensure, one, that your chiropractic adjustments hold well, but two, so that you can maintain a good posture and also to protect yourself when you're moving. Super. So this exercise is called a dead bug. So for dead bug, we're going to lay onto our backs. There are a number of different progressions for the dead bug, so I'm going to show the easiest one first. So we're going to bring the knees up towards the chest, okay? So we're at a 90-degree angle. What we're then going to do is we're going to pop one of the hands into the base of the spine. This is so that we can feel that the core is working during this exercise. The exercises aren't about getting as many reps in as possible, but making sure that those reps count. So I'm going to now contract my core, okay, by contracting it and pushing down into the hand in the small of my back. Whilst I now maintain that pressure on my hand, I'm going to lower one of my legs down towards the ground and bring it back up. I'm then going to repeat onto the other side and bring it back up. You can see that this movement I'm doing very, very slowly to ensure I can feel that contraction onto the hand in the small of my back. If at any point I lose that contraction, I'm just going to stop. Once I feel comfortable with that and I can do around 10 to 20 reps, we can then progress to doing the arm and the leg. So in this position again, we're going to put pressure into the small of the back. You're then going to bring the arm up. You're then going to work the opposite arm with the opposite leg. So remember, maintaining that pressure on the hand the whole time. As the leg goes down, so does the arm, and then they come back up. Obviously with this one, so you don't have to keep changing arms, I recommend you do about 5 reps on one side, and then you switch, and then you can do 5 reps on the other side, remembering to maintain that contraction on your hand the whole time. And that's the dead bug. Another exercise for the core. This one is called the bird dog. And for this one, we're going to start onto our hands and knees. Now this exercise is quite difficult, so I'm going to show the progressions to build up to being able to do it with both the arm and the leg. So first of all, I want you to find a neutral spine by doing a few cat-camel exercises so you can feel your pelvis turned over and out, and where feels neutral in the middle, so the back of the spine is nice and flat. From here, what we're just going to do first of all, by maintaining a nice neutral position, so not shifting over to one side, not shifting over to the other, staying nice and neutral in the middle, is we're going to plant down the knees, plant down the hands, and then very slowly we're going to lift one arm up and then bring it back down. What we don't want to see is the shoulder dropping, is the body weight shifting. We want to keep that nice neutral position in the middle and activating the core, pushing the hands and knees in. We're then going to lift one arm. You can do 5 repetitions on one arm, 5 repetitions on the other. If you feel confident with that, we can now move on to the legs. So again, with the legs, what we want to do is make sure we've got that nice neutral position. The hands are planted into the floor. The knee that we're not going to be lifting is planted into the floor and the core is contracted. And then from here, we're going to lift the leg up and bring it back down. So again, with this one, what we don't want to see is too much shifting over to the side, and what we definitely don't want to see is the hip dropping down, okay? If, as you start to bring the leg off, you then start to feel the body shifting over, don't take the leg any higher. This exercise isn't about bringing the leg up, it's about lifting the leg off and being able to maintain that neutral position as we straighten the leg out and bring it back in. We can do, again, 5 repetitions on each side. The final advancement of this is doing the arm and the leg at the same time. So again, engaging the core, locking in the hand and knee that we aren't going to lift, trying to maintain that neutral position at all times as we then lift up and come back in. Okay, so the movement is very slow to ensure that we're working the core at the same time, and that's the exercise for the core. This is the plank exercise. Now, for a lot of people, they do plank wrong. Plank is a really hard exercise that you should only be able to maintain for about 10 to 20 seconds. So there's 2 variations of the plank. Ideally, we want you to be able to do the plank on your toes, okay? But if you're struggling, you can come down to your knees. The main thing that you need to remember with the plank exercise is not to shift your body over your arms, okay? What we want to do is, when we're in this position, we don't want the bum up here and we don't want the bum down here. We want the body to be flat, okay, and straight. As we then go to do the plank, we want to pull, imagine we're pulling the elbows and the toes together, squeezing the bum, and this will activate the core and the buttocks, and we can hold and relax. Okay, so remembering with the plank to pull the elbows towards the toes to activate the core, and hold for somewhere between 10 to 20 seconds. That's the plank. Another exercise for the core. This one is the glute bridge. This one actually activates your buttock muscles, but is really great in helping to stabilize the pelvis. So for the glute bridge, you need to lie onto your back. Feet are going to be shoulder width apart, arms nice and relaxed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift up, okay? Now with this exercise, what I want you to imagine is that it's your bum muscles that are pushing your pelvis up. So you're going to squeeze them together as you push up. What you might notice with this exercise is that I'm not going too high. What a lot of people do with this exercise is they think it's about getting the height. In this position, my buttock muscles have switched off. What's working here is my hamstrings. So what I want you to remember with this exercise is that you don't need to lift too high. So imagine your buttock muscles pushing your pelvis up, squeezing them together, and that's about as high as I need to go. Hold for a few seconds and relax back down and repeat. So not pushing all the way up here, but just squeezing the buttocks to about here and relax. I would do this for about 10 repetitions, and that's the glute bridge.